Hello everyone, welcome to Kenny's Educare, a group of Kenny Solutions. In the last lecture we started with living world and we saw three characteristics of living thing which are very important to understand because on the basis of those characteristics you will be able to understand between living thing and non-living thing, right? So what were the characteristics which we have studied? We will just go through once and then we will study the rest of the characteristics. ठीक है. So see, first characteristic which we saw was growth, right? And what does we saw कि जो एक baby होता है, when years passes on, what happens? The baby will grow into an adult, right? So one of the characteristic which you have to see while differentiating between a living thing and non-living thing is growth, whether growth is taking place or not. Because when you compare a non-living thing, for example football, kite, does growth take place in them? No. So here you can tell they are non-living thing, right? So such an easy characteristics which will make you understand and which will make you differentiate between the living thing and non-living thing, right? देन जैसे जैसे ग्रोथ होगी उसकी हाइट बढ़ेगी, देन उसका वेट बढ़ेगा, उसका स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ेगा, राइट? एंड दिस सेम टेक प्लेस इन एनिमल्स एंड प्लांट्स ऑल्सो. सो यू कैन टेल कि ग्रोथ इज़ वन ऑफ द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ लिविंग थिंग, राइट? देन this is one of the experiment. I hope so someone is trying to do this because you need to do this activity also, right? So just try to do this. Everyone might be having a plant at home, right? So you can do this experiment. Then we studied the second characteristic which was food. And why food? We studied about food, that they will be taking food, right? Because जो plants होते हैं, they prepare their own food using sunlight, carbon dioxide which they get from us. Then they need water which you give them, right? And nutrients which are necessary for them to grow. But why the plants can make their own food and why animals cannot make their own food? I told you the reason for this in the last lecture itself. Because plants have one pigment called as chlorophyll pigment which is necessary for the production of food, while animals will not have this chlorophyll pigment, and that is the only reason why plants can make their own food and why animals cannot make their own food. Okay, so the process through which plants can make their own food, that process is called as photosynthesis process. Okay, and the animals, since they can't make their own food, they are always dependent on other animals for their food. For example, suppose a goat is eating the grass. Okay, goat is eating the grass. Now tiger wants to have some food, but tiger doesn't love to eat the grass. What he will do? He will eat the goat. This is how the food cycle goes on in the nature. Okay, then next thing we saw was respiration process. We all know we take in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide, right? तो ऑक्सीजन हमें कहाँ से मिल रहा है for taking in? We get it from plants, and what the carbon dioxide which we are giving, it is utilized by the plants for making their food through the process of photosynthesis. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? This is a symbiotic relationship. It means both of them are benefited from each other. The plant is getting carbon dioxide by giving oxygen, right? So यहाँ पे किसका भी loss नहीं है. Now human beings के अंदर the respiration process takes place by inhaling the oxygen and exhaling the carbon dioxide, and they have a specific organ for that. For example, nose hai, lungs hai. These are the organs which are involved in respiration process. Now the same thing takes place in animals. Now in some animals, if you compare it with fish, snake, mouse, they have this gills which are present, some have this nose which are present. Okay, so these are the organs which they have and they help them in this respiration process. And if you talk about plants, you cannot see nose or this gills present on plants, right? So you might be having a question, how these plants they respire? So for the respiration, I told you the leaves of the plant, they contain a pigment called chlorophyll, right? So for respiration, जो leaves होते हैं उनके पास माइक्रोस्कोपिक पोर्स होता है, इट मीन्स स्मॉल पोर्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं लीव्स के ऊपर, एंड दैट इज़ द रीज़न थ्रू दिस पोर्स दे रेस्पायर. Even if you can't see the organ, they can do the respiration process, and that is the reason they are included in living thing. Okay, now third which we saw was excretion process. now आपने खाना खाया अभी, ओके तो जो भी essential nutrient आपके बॉडी को एब्जॉर्ब करना था, that will be absorbed in the blood, and that absorbed nutrient will give energy to you for doing your work, right? but अब एब्जॉर्ब न्यूट्रिएंट में कुछ ऐसे न्यूट्रिएंट भी आएंगे, दैट इज़ नॉट न्यूट्रिएंट, कुछ ऐसे सब्सटेंस भी आएंगे विच विल बी नॉट यूजफुल टू यू, इट विल बी अ वेस्ट. So those waste substance, it will be eliminated by your body out, okay, it will be eliminated out of the body, and that process is called as excretion process. Now in leaves, when you talk about, you can't see any excretory organ, right? So how does the excretory process takes place in plants? You might have seen sticky parts in leaves. Those are the excretory substance, those are called as gums, which are useful to us, but those are of no use to plants. Then you might have seen leaves of the plant, they fall down. That is the excretory process which plants are following. Then we studied about one experiment which you might have conducted. You have to tie this just a plastic bag to it, and after a few hours you will see some water droplets. So here you can conclude plants are excreting out water, right? So this excretion is also a characteristic of living thing. Now today we will be studying about another characteristic, which is responsiveness to stimuli. Now what does it means? You might have heard about this mimosa plant. When you will touch this plant, the plant will close, and after some time it will open. So the plant is responding to your touch. That is only called as responsiveness to stimuli. When you touch the animal will respond to you, right? When someone touches you, you come to know कि someone has touched you, right? So that is the characteristic which is called as responsiveness to stimuli. Now see, have you experienced this? What happened immediately after the following action? Light flashed suddenly into your eyes. Suppose you are sleeping and the room is dark, the light is off, and if someone ons the light, what happens? Your your eyelashes, they just move down, right? You blink your eyes, and suddenly you felt a pinprick. The leaves of the mimosa plant were touched. This is the mimosa plant. When you touch the leaves of the plant, they will close. Okay, then at sunset, lamps on the street or courtyard, they are lit and insects gather around the lamps. You might have seen कि light के आसपास बहुत सारे insect आ जाते हैं. These are the responsiveness to stimuli which are seen. If someone pinches you, you come to know ना कि someone has pinched you. Someone touches you, you come to know. So this is what we call as responsiveness to stimuli. Okay, so this is also one of the characteristic of living thing, because when you touch a ball, it doesn't come to know you have touched it. So here, based on the characteristic of responsiveness to stimuli, you can differentiate between living thing and non-living thing, right? So see, living thing, they act in various ways when responding to a stimulus, right? And if you suddenly enter a cow shed, the cows and buffaloes, they will stand up, they will begin to move. One or two may even start mooing, right? You might have experienced this. So these are all movements, okay? A creeper planted in the courtyard leans towards a support. You might have seen a plant will only, suppose this is a plant, okay, this is a pot, and this is the plant. This is how it is growing in opposite directions. Okay, now you might have seen को बहुत लोग उससे यहाँ पे ऐसे एक stick attach कर देते हैं to the plant, and then the plant will only grow towards this stick. This will be the direction of the plant, how it will grow. So this is how the plant is responding to the stick, right? A potted plant placed in a window grows towards sunlight. अब कुछ प्लांट्स ऐसे होते हैं जहाँ पे उनको जिस डायरेक्शन में उनको सनलाइट मिल रही होगी वो उस डायरेक्शन में ही ग्रो करते हैं. And it means that the plants to show movement. Now you can see the animals move. So, and here from this activity you can conclude कि plants also move towards sunlight, right? So living things, they move of their own accord. Whenever they want to move, they will move. And the movement or the change taking place in a living thing at such time is the response to a stimulus. Okay, whenever you move, suppose someone pinches you, you move, right? Someone touches you, you will move, right? So this is what we call as responsiveness to stimulus. An event that occurs in our surrounding is a stimulus. And the ability of living thing to respond to a stimulus is called as responsiveness to stimulus, right? Because you can make a response to someone's touch. That is the property and that is the movement which is called as responsiveness to stimulus, and this is one of the characteristic of living thing. It doesn't takes place in non-living thing. Okay, now see, can you tell and what do you learn from this picture? See, this is a bird and its egg. This is bryophyllum. Then this is a mare and her foal, and this is the rose cuttings which are planted, and from this the whole rose plant will grow. Okay, so here you can say from this egg what will happen? New birds will come. This foal is her duplicate, right? See, this mare is her parent, and this is the son or the daughter, male or female foal, right? This is the rose cuttings from which a whole plant will grow, right? जैसे अभी human beings में they have their baby, so that process is called as reproduction process. Okay, why the baby comes out of the mother's womb? It is because of the reproduction process. How the baby is formed? It is because of the reproduction process. Okay, see, living thing produce other living things like themselves, right? अगर human beings की बात की जाए तो they give birth to human beings only, right? Monkey will give birth to monkey, birds will give birth to birds. So living thing जो होते हैं, they produce other living thing which will be like them only. Okay, and some animals give birth to their young ones, some lay eggs. Here if you see, यहाँ पे young one को they have given birth, while ये जो birds होते हैं वो egg से आएंगे, right? So some will lay eggs, and from those eggs the birds will come out. Some will give birth to this only. If you might have seen a dog egg से नहीं आता, right? So that is called as reproduction process. But जो birds होती है, they come out from egg, so that is also one of the reproduction process. Okay, so these are the different methods of reproduction which you are seeing here. Now the young ones hatch out of the eggs and new plants are produced from the seeds, stems or leaves of the plant, right? अब एक पूरा न्यू प्लांट ग्रो कर सकते हो यूजिंग वन स्मॉल सीड, वन स्टेम और वन ऑफ द लीव्स ऑफ द प्लांट, एंड द प्रोसेस बाय विच अ लिविंग थिंग जनरेट्स अ न्यू लिविंग थिंग लाइक इट सेल्फ. मतलब एक ऐसा प्रोसेस जिससे एक लिविंग थिंग एक दूसरे लिविंग थिंग को जनरेट कर सकता है, उसको, ये प्रोसेस को हम क्या बोलते हैं? रिप्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस. ओके, नाउ सी, ऑब्जर्व एंड टेल मी what is happening here. This is the lifespan which occurs. पहले the tree was just small and the leaves were just light green, then वो leaves dark green हो गए, leaves का color change to yellow. जैसे जैसे जो plants है they will become old, जैसे जैसे हम old होते हैं what happens, हमारा hair जो है वो white हो जाता है, हमारे muscles जो है वो you might have seen your grandma and grandfather, right? उनके मसल्स वीक हो जाएंगे, उनकी स्किन जो है वो अलग हो जाएगी, राइट? सो दिस इज़ द डिफरेंस विच वी सी इन ह्यूमन बींग्स. वैसे प्लांट्स में भी उनका जो लीव्स का कलर होता है दैट स्टार्ट्स चेंजिंग. एक टाइम ऐसा भी आता है जब पूरे लीव्स नीचे गिर जाएंगे एंड देन न्यू लीव्स विल कम. वैसे सेम केस हैपन्स विद एनिमल्स ऑल्सो. दिस इज़ कॉल्ड एज लाइफ स्पैन. मतलब कितने टाइम तक आप इस अर्थ के ऊपर रहोगे, दैट इज़ द लाइफ स्पैन. Okay, see, a definite lifespan is another characteristic of a living thing, because non-living thing will not have a definite lifespan. If you bring a football, what happens? If you are using it properly and if you have brought a good quality of football, you can use it for 1 to 2 years, or you can, if you are keeping it just in a cupboard, it will be there for how many years you want to keep it, you can keep it. But it doesn't happens with this plants, animals and human beings. Okay, so we all have a definite lifespan, we will die one day. That is only called as definite lifespan. ठीक है? So at certain stage of life, living things become capable of reproduction, right? Reproduction is a process by which a living thing generates another living thing, right? So एक certain एक ऐसा stage आता है life में जहाँ पे मतलब पहले आप बेबी होते हो, बेबी से you become adult, 14-15 years of age, and after that you become young and adult, right? So at the age of 18 you are capable of reproduction process. Okay, you can generate a new living thing, new living organism. Okay, उसको हम बोलते हैं reproduction process. Later on in life reproduction stage, their organs become weak and still later the life come to an end, right? So this is the definite lifespan which we are having. At certain time we will die, so our life will come to an end, and other words living thing die, right? So the lifespan of different animals and plants, they are different, because survival of the fittest. Those who are fit, they will survive. Once you become unfit, you have to die. Okay, for example, the lifespan of the dog is about 12 to 18 years. The dog can't live ahead of 18 years, okay, while the ostrich lives for 50 years. This is the lifespan of ostrich, 50 years, and 12 to 18 years is the lifespan of the dog. You may have wondered what exactly the living things are and how they came into being and so on, right? You might be wondering कि जो living things है वो existence से कैसा हुआ है उनका, and why they are dying. So do you know that the lifespan of the giant turtle, this big turtle, which was found on Galapagos Island in South America, is 170 years. So this giant turtle, he is in the world for more than 170 years. Okay, on the other hand, the lifespan of mayfly ranges from 1 hour to 24 hours. This fly, इसका lifespan सिर्फ 1 hour से 24 hours होता है, after which they die. Okay, so this is the difference between the lifespan of this turtle and this fly. Okay, see, observe a honeycomb and a wall. This is the honeycomb and wall. What are they made of? You may have seen the small compartments of honeycomb. See, what are compartments? You can see like this structure. This is the one compartment of honeycomb. And a wall का compartment क्या होगा फिर? See, ये होगा wall का compartment. See, this is the one compartment and one compartment of honeycomb and a wall. Okay, this compartment, they are joined together to form a honeycomb, right? Various compartment will join together and they will form one big honeycomb. And this wall, they have bricks. So to construct a wall, you will need many bricks like this, right? So this is how the wall and the bricks are made. For honeycomb, you will have to have many compartments joined together, and for building a wall, you will have to make many bricks joined together, and then it will form the wall, right? So see, that is called as cellular structure. In the same way, हमारी जो body है, it is made up of cell, and we are multicellular. What does it mean, multicellular? It means we are made up of many cell. हम जो ह्यूमन बीन है ना, हमारी पूरी बॉडी सेल से बनी हुई है. तो जैसे यहाँ पे हनीकॉम्ब बनाने के लिए कंपार्टमेंट की ज़रूरत थी एंड वॉल को बनाने के लिए बहुत सारी ब्रिक्स की ज़रूरत थी, वैसे ही ह्यूमन बीन्स, प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स को बनाने के लिए भी सेल्स की ज़रूरत है. ओके, एंड दैट इज़ व्हाट वी कॉल एज सेलुलर स्ट्रक्चर. ओके, सी, all the actions and processes in the body of living thing, they are brought about with the help of the microscopic cells. Now these cells, they are microscopic. It means what? You cannot see that with your naked eye. You have to use an instrument which is called as microscope. Then only you can see how the cell look like and what are the internal components which are present in the cell. Okay, see, some living thing, they will be unicellular, means it will be made up of only one cell, while some will be multicellular, it means they will be made up of many cells. Okay, so those living things who will be made up of only a single cell, they will be called as unicellular organism, while the living things which will be made up of many cells, they will be called as multicellular organism. So if I ask you about unicellular organism which is made up of only one cell, the example to it is amoeba and paramecium. they are made up of only one cell. Okay, while cockroach and pigeon, they are made up of many cells. So this amoeba and paramecium, they are unicellular organism, while this cockroach and this pigeon is a multicellular organism because they are made up of many cells. Okay, now see, the amoeba and some other microorganisms, they are unicellular, while man, cow, mouse, cockroach, elephants, banyan tree, onion plant, these are all multicellular organism. Remember the two terms. Unicellular means they are made up of only one cell. Multicellular means they are made up of many cells. And all the characteristic of the living things which are seen in every cell of living thing, whether it is unicellular or multicellular, all the characteristic means what? Growth, reproduction, excretion, respiration. All the characteristics will take place in every cell of the living thing. Okay, whether be it a unicellular organism or be it a multicellular organism. So next, cellular structure, you can say it is the main characteristic of living thing, even though the number of the cells may vary, whether be it a single cell or be it many cells. Then too, this cellular structure, it will be the main characteristic of living thing. Okay, now see, these are the various living thing: snail, onion plant, banyan tree, elephants. So see, some institutes are there which constantly work on some of the activities in identifying the characteristics of living thing. Okay, so the institute that works for the survey and conservation of various plants and animals in different parts of India are the Botanical Survey of India, which was established in 1890, and the Zoological Survey of India, which was established in 1916 respectively. So both this institute, they are working on the conservation means protecting these various plants and animals. Okay, and in case you find an unfamiliar plant or animal in your surrounding, you can communicate with this institute to obtain more information about it. Okay, so if you see any of the plant or animal which you haven't seen it before, or people might not be knowing about it, you can inform such institutes, because the work which they do is they just study on various different new types of plants and animals which come into existence. Okay, so they do the survey. Have you seen this animal? This is a new type of animal which has come up. And then they study the characteristic, whether they are unicellular, they are multicellular. Okay, so they study various characteristic based on them. Okay, now can you tell in what way are plants and animals, they are useful to us? See, some plants, they have some medicinal properties which are important to us, and we eat plants and animals, right? We eat both. So see, useful living things, plants are used for household as well as industrial purposes, right? For example, fenugreek, which is methi, potato, okra, which is bhindi, apple, banana, they are used as a food, while vasaka, which is called as adalsa, hirada, behda, asparagus, they are used as medicine. So plants ko we are using at home also and at industries also for various medicinal and healthcare purposes, right? And animals, they are also useful to us. Dogs, cats, cows, buffalo, they are kept for domestic uses, right? Cow and buffalo, they gives us milk. Then cats and dogs, they are domestic. You just keep them at home because you love dogs and cats, right? Now fish, sheep, fowl, they are used as food. You eat fish, sheep and fowl, right? So they are used as a food, while animals like horses, oxen, camel, they prove useful in various occupation, right? Horse riding hoti hai, camels, they are used for carrying loads. So the earthworm is also a very useful in agriculture because the soil needs its earthworm. Okay, so earthworm is also useful in agricultural purposes. So these are various useful and harmful living things which occur in our environment, and you need to know which are the harmful living things and which are the यूजफुल लिविंग थिंग. ओके, सो हार्मफुल लिविंग थिंग में क्या होता है? सम एनिमल्स एंड प्लांट्स अराउंड अस दे आर हार्मफुल टू मैन, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल मॉस्किटोज हो गया. अगर मॉस्किटो बाइट करेगा तो व्हाट विल हैपन? मलेरिया, डेंगू. सो दे आर हार्मफुल फॉर अस. Then they spread diseases, cockroaches, mice, rats. They destroy our food, so they are harmful for us, right? Then lice, ticks, they also spread diseases. The bites of some poisonous lizard, spider, snake, and scorpions can even cause death. So these are the harmful living things which exist on earth. And if wild animals enter human settlement, they will cause lot of destructions, right? So some plants too can be harmful for us. For example, the dodder, parathenium, and other weeds. Okay, so these plants, they are cancerous to us, because some plants, they are very much useful to us. They will treat cancer. But there are some plants, they can cause cancer. Okay, so those plants will be harmful living thing. Then pods of nettle, colocasia leaves causing itching. Some leaves, when you touch the leaves, it will start, you will start having itching in your hands. Okay, so plants like oleander, lantana, they have strong odor. Odor means smell. Then the datura plant is poisonous. Uncontrolled growth of fungi and algae in water pollutes the drinking water and may cause the spread of disease. For example, when it rains heavily, you might have seen green color which occurs on the ground, right? दैट इज़ द अलगे. एंड जब बहुत ज़्यादा बारिश होती है तो आपने देखा होगा जो पानी होता है उसके ऊपर ग्रीन कलर का लेयर फॉर्म होता है. दैट लेयर इज़ ऑफ फंगाई एंड अलगे. ओके, एंड इफ़ दोज वाटर मिक्सेस विद द ड्रिंकिंग वाटर, व्हाट विल हैपन? We will get various types of diseases because of those fungi and algae, and that is the reason these are the harmful living things which occur. Okay, now wild animal, as I told you about wild animal, wild elephant, if they enter human settlement, they will destroy many things, right? So these are the wild animals which you do not keep at home. These are in the zoos. Now see, wild animal that hunt other animals for food, they are called as predator. For example, lion, cheetah, tiger, they eat other animals like deer. Then you can say deer को they eat goats, right? So जो animals दूसरे animals को खाते हैं उनको हम बोलते हैं predators. For example, lion, tiger, wolves, leopards, these are all predators because they eat other animals. And sometimes due to deforestation, means we are cutting down the forest, and for this wild animals the forest are their home, right? And we are cutting the forest, so what they are doing, these animals, they are entering the human settlements in search of food and may kill the domestic animals or people, right? Because they are not having the forest. So what will happen? They will enter the human settlement and they will try to eat you. So we should not cut forest, because this might happen. They will come and they will stay in, you can see them on roads if the forests are not there, and that will be dangerous for us, right? Now always remember, many plants and needs in nature, they satisfy our needs, so we should not hurt them in any way. Okay, the use of such plants and animals should be restricted only to our needs, and we should not pluck leaves, flowers, and fruits unnecessarily. Animals should not be hunted, they should not be teased just for fun, and it is the responsibility and duty of all of us to protect the plants and animals, because we need them. They don't need us, we need them. Okay, so we should always try to protect them, and we should always try to save them from others also, because some of the elders or young people, what they do, they just waste them, they tease animals, they will hurt animals. Okay, so you can just tell them don't do that, or you can stop people from plucking the leaves and plants unnecessarily. Okay, now see what we have learned in this lesson, living world. We studied about various characteristics, and I hope so now you are able to differentiate between a living thing and non-living thing. See, we studied about growth, respiration, excretion, reproduction, responsiveness to stimuli, movement, definite lifespan, and cellular structure, right? And we came to know that these are the characteristics of the living things which are important, right? Then we saw that animals grow for a certain period of their life, and plants, they will grow as long as they live. And animals, they have specific organ for respiration, while plants may you can't see the respiratory organ, but there are some microscopic pores which are present on the leaves and stems, and that help them for the respiration process. Then we studied about excretion process, and we saw how to define excretion. The process of eliminating out waste from the body is called as excretion, right? And we saw about reproduction ki all the living thing which will be there, they will be able to reproduce. It means they will be able to regenerate another living thing or living organism. And living thing, because of the ability to respond to stimuli, they can move, they can have their movement from one place to another. Okay, then we saw ki plants, they show some spontaneous movement, but they cannot. Have you seen any plant moving from one place to another? No, na. So plants, they show some spontaneous movement, but they will not move from one place to another. Okay, and in what way you can see the movement of the plant? When they will grow towards sunlight, that is one of the movement of the plant which you can observe. Okay, then we saw the living thing, they have a definite lifespan at the end of which they will die. As I told you, survival of the fittest. Unless and until you are fit, you will not die. Okay, see, many animals and plants, they are useful to us in our daily life, and some plants and animals can be harmful to us, and we saw in what way they can be useful to us and in what way they can be harmful to us. And we saw कि हमारा जो human body है, animals है, plants है, all the living thing, they are made up of cell, and the cells are of two type, unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular means they are made up of only one cell. Multicellular means they are made up of many cells. Okay, so I hope you are clear with each of the characteristics of the living things which are described in this lesson. Okay, so, and now you will be able to differentiate between a living thing and a non-living thing. So we are done with the lesson. Thank you everyone.